This message is brought to you by Apple Card. Shave ice by the beach. A trip to the state fair. And a throwback flick at the local drive-in. They're more than just items to check off the summer bucket list. They're also opportunities to earn 2% daily cash back when you use your Apple Card with Apple Pay. Apply for Apple Card now and use in minutes with Apple Pay. Subject to credit approval. Apple Card is issued by Goldman Sachs Bank USA, Salt Lake City branch. Terms and more at applecard.com.
Low energy, unfocused, foggy? You might be dehydrated. Whether it's hot yoga, over 100-degree weather, or too much sun. Gator Light, with a specialized blend of 5 electrolytes, was scientifically designed to help move fluids into the body faster for rapid rehydration. Shop now at retailers nationwide. Gator Light hydrates faster than water. Is it in you? Symptoms noted are signs of mild to moderate dehydration. Consult a healthcare professional if symptoms persist.
AI is moving fast across the enterprise. But without visibility, it's just chaos. Different tools, different models, different teams using AI in completely different ways. ServiceNow turns that chaos into control. With the AI Control Tower, you see all your AI across the business in one place. What it's doing, what it's done, and what it's about to do. So you stay in control. To put AI to work for people, visit servicenow.com.
From the Fifth Quarter Studios in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to Coach Unplugged. And now, your host, Steve Collins.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Coach Unplugged episode. I have no idea. But before we get going, I'd like to big a shout out to our 2 sponsors. First of all, Dr. Dish, the #1 shooting machine on the market. Go over, mention Coach Unplugged. They'll give you $450 off, and they'll take really good care of you. Before I forget too, if you like this podcast, go over and check out some of our other ones like High School Hoops, Coaching Youth Hoops, 5-Minute Basketball Coaching Podcast. If you're looking for that one defense that will work against anybody, the Funnel Down Defense Podcast, the Rule of 3 offense that will work at any level, go over and check those out. Leave a 5-star review. We would like those. But also go over and check out teachhoops.com. For coaches who want to get better. It's a one-stop shop for basketball coaches. It's resources, it's everything. It's what I would have wanted as a 27-year-old basketball coach. It's a roadmap to success on and off the court. And we offer a 14-day free trial because I'm a coach. I understand how it goes. Go over and check it out. Kick the tires around, see if it's for you. And if it's not, we'll part our ways and we'll say thank you and move on. But I guarantee you're going to love all the material. And the material we're always putting in teachhoops.com. But anyway, have a great day, everybody. And let's head off the podcast. So what do you do in your end of season?
End of season, it kind of, for me, it's similar to midway. But I want end of season to definitely feel more, definitely a little more closure in there, definitely more encouragement and like hope for the future. Where mid-season it's like you got to work for it.
Right.
Where end of season, you got a lot of time now. But definitely giving that positive feedback of things they did well and like really hammering that in. I had a coach when I played in high school, and he was the first coach I ever had and the only coach I've ever had who did this. And he, at the end of the season, he pulled me aside, told me exactly why I wasn't playing much, told me what to do, how to fix it, what style of play in a game, how to change that. And next season I came in, I did that, and I played more. And that was like eye-opening for me, of just that open communication. And
right.
Like he told me exactly what the reason was, and I fixed it, and then I got that reward for it. And I think that is just something that I really focus on in the end of season, just being very clear with them.
Yeah, I find you know the tryout one, and even before game 1 or after game 1, there's still a ray of hope for just about everybody on the roster at that point. I find the midseason, the end of the season are probably the most if you're building culture and building relationships, because you're having that courageous one. But the end of the season, couple of bits of advice I would give coaches is, first of all, I would have someone else in the room with me when I do all of these. Mm-hmm. just because I can tell you a story about my son. I had an end of season one with my son after his junior year, and what I said and what he came home and told his mom, I said were two separate things. Maybe it was between sophomore and junior, whatever. But it was we laugh about it now, but it's like that's not what I said. I had three other coaches in that room, Drew. I did not say that to you. You know, he thought I was told me never play, and I said no. I said here's what you have to do if you want to play. Like, but
I know it always sounds so great in your head, and like even when it's coming out, but you never know how they're going to take it.
how they take it or what you said. So, I like to make the end of the season a little bit. I like to talk about statistics. I like to talk about concrete. I like to hand them a piece of paper. I like to make that the midseason tends to be a little bit more just communication talking, but I never have enough time on the end of seasons. Usually we leave like 15, 20-minute book sessions, which can be really long when you're running through like, 15 to 18 kids. It can be 3 or 4 days. But I never get done early with them because
I always run late on those too.
I know.
Tryouts and end of season, I take way too much time.
Yeah. So just for coaches that are listening, it's like I think that if you want to build a culture, you want to build a program, you want to build moving forward, that end of season, because you're right, it's more positive, and here's what you did well, and here's what you didn't do well, and here's your plan, and here's what we're going to do in the off season to make ourselves better and make the program better. And it's like blah blah blah, blah. And what do you feel and where are you playing? And it's like it is literally a conversation. And they're very tiring, but they're very productive. I would say very productive. All right, let's keep moving on, Coach. That's some more questions for you too.
Kind of jumping into team culture. So I think one of the biggest areas of team culture is having strong leaders on your team, and whether it's a captain or not a captain, but having those kids who can really kind of pull everyone together. And I love to really include my captains and my leaders on my team in the difficult, like maybe I'll talk with them first about a difficult topic and then bring it to the whole team, just to kind of get their feedback and then adjust what I'm kind of saying to the whole team. But I feel like if the team is arguing, me telling them to stop over and over again is only going to do so much.
Right.
Where if they're coming from their peers and kids that they may even look up to, then I think it hits home a little harder.
Right. And we can name as many captains as we want. I'm telling you, but they know. They know who's the lead. I mean, to be honest with you, it's like, I think team captains are the most overrated thing in all of sports, because there's a difference. You in the center circle, you have team leaders and team captains. They're not always necessarily the same thing,
and they sometimes change.
They really do.
You might have a leader in the beginning that maybe kind of goes the other way.
Yes, I know. I think that's where it's it's a very important pivot and discussion when you figure out who you want to lead your group. Yeah, I like to refer to them as team leaders rather than team captains. But yes, there's only one captain, and usually we have more than one leader. Yeah, usually if you're thinking about a team. I love that. I love that kind of the mindset of how you can kind of go and tackle that is, again, all this is, if you want a winning program, all this stuff is super important. It really is. You said you had one more slide, I think. You went? Yeah.
So I just wanted to touch on, like, I could talk about this for so long. There's so many different things too, after a win versus after a loss. But after a win, I really like to, you want to give them critique and you want to give them things to work on. But after a win, I know some coaches like to really, they're almost harder on their team after a win than a loss. And I think I probably am in a way, but I always want them to feel good about that win when they leave. I don't want them to feel good coming off the court and then have me bring them down for all the things that I felt like, okay, we still got to work on this. I think it's important to point a few things out, like one or two, to improve in the future, but really acknowledge the great things in that game, acknowledge the highlights, and end on a positive note. and then looking at a loss, I think it's important to be honest. And usually when I address my team, it's not right after the game with all this. Usually it's the next day in practice.
Yeah, it's so hard. They don't hear you, coaches. They don't hear you. They really don't.
They're looking at their parents ready to go. Yeah. They're already out the door,
right,
mentally. So yeah, the following day I always try to do it. But for after a loss, make sure they know the negative just in a constructive way. And then always give praise for what went right. I never individually point out anyone specifically after a tough game. I think tough games are hard on everyone. It's not one player's fault.
Right.
And then just being supportive. And then also after a loss, I want to hear their feedback too. And a lot of it is them talking after a loss and getting their feedback.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to process. It's like anything. Like I just short is better, to be honest with you. Post games, it's better to learn lessons after a win than a loss. Let's just be real. But you need failure in life to learn that. We all need that growth mindset. But I never had as good of feedback or long-term benefit after the game than when I go home, I walk the dog, I have something to eat, I sleep on it, and then the next day it's like, all right, we're gonna come back. I'll walk them. Usually, what I'll do is, like, especially if it's after a bad loss or a big loss or something like that, I won't say anything to them. We'll keep it really short after the game, and then we'll come to practice the next day. They'll all be shooting, kind of warming up, and then we'll just walk to my room and we'll talk then. And I'll spend as long as I need to. If I need to spend 30 minutes at that point, because I got their attention at that point.
Right.
It's like, well, let's talk about why this didn't work and why do we have 22 turnovers. Well, that you're not going to win many games when you have 22 turnovers. So I think those are the things that you gotta kind of really dive into. I agree. Do you yeah, I just think both of those are big as far as, because they're more likely to listen at that point.
Absolutely.
All right, so we can close that out. I'll put this down below so if people want to see it. What do you think the hardest thing to teach is at practice?
I find like our general offense that we're running to be the hardest thing to really instill, because I think at the root of it, they just want to play kind of street ball, get open.
Right.
And I think that's what they want to do. And to really kind of shift them out of that can be difficult, especially with 7th, 8th graders who have never played organized basketball. That can be a really, really tough habit to break.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's a difficult, that shift is hard for them. And it's harder at the middle school level than any level, I'm telling you. It's
yeah. And at that point, you have a lot of egos and then some players who lack that confidence. And like I mentioned with like the connections and like just being aware of the personalities on your team, I think that's really important in navigating difficult things to teach and all that.
How do you practice plan? How do you go about getting ready for practice? Like, what's your specific thing you do?
So for me, I mean,
I'm not talking like 30 minutes of that. I'm just talking about like, how do you grasp that, and then how will that change moving into like being a JV coach?
Yeah. I mean, for me, I always, like, in the summer, that's where I try to really hammer down, okay, these are the general things we got to work on, and I create practice plans, never end up following them because things change so much, of
Right.
what you thought you needed to work on versus what you actually have to work on. But going into each day, trying to go off the day before and figuring out what went right, what didn't go well, why it didn't go well, and how we can adjust.
How it can change. Yes. I know. I've changed over the years too. I used to do it the night of. Now I tend to do it the morning after.
Mhm.
I think you just gotta, like, for coaches, I think you just gotta get into a rhythm, like whatever works for you.
Right.
Like I'll map out my first week before the season because that's just what I do in the fall.
Hmm.
But I'm going to tell you, there's 5 practices, 2 tryouts, 3 practices. I'll keep 2 of them probably,
Yeah.
and there are other. I mean, just because, oh shoot, that didn't work, or oh crud, we need more work on that. Um, so that's just the way it just kind of pivots for me. It's yeah. So I think for the young coaches or the coaches that are listening, you're just going to have to. That will take some time though to get some rhythm with that.
Hmm.
Um, is there one thing? Did you coach during COVID?
I did not. Well, technically I did not like the heat of it, but the kind of the first year where they were kind of coming back to school, 2021, I started.
2021. Okay, so you didn't have to go through. Um, what explain about being a JV coach? Have you met with the head coach? What does that look like? How, are you having to learn new things? Because it's been a long time since I've been a JV coach, so that intrigues me.
So
Um,
yeah, I met with the varsity coach, and he I think every coach has different things that they want to try, especially at the varsity level with the whole program. And I mean, I believe in a lot of consistency throughout the whole program too. So trying to incorporate what he's running at varsity and especially at JV because a lot of those players might go up and down throughout the season depending on injuries, grades. I know in the past we've had players who have kind of bounced up and down the 2 levels.
you're
Some
AAA in baseball. That's what you
yeah,
are. You're AAA, baby. You're
for
the
sure.
minor leagues.
Um, so just really making sure those players are kind of consistent on what they're learning to and trying to run similar defense, similar offense, and um, just overall concepts. I
Yeah,
think that's important.
I love that. All right, so I'm going to jump into my rapid fire. What's just going to ask you some really quick questions. What's your favorite brand of actual basketball?
For me, I think Spalding.
Okay.
That's my go-to. I feel like it has the better bounce. We for at our school we have Wilson and Spalding, but I always prefer to Spalding.
I like Spalding too. If you go to one sporting event for free in the world, what would you go to and why?
Probably March Madness Final Four, but
Go.
Super Bowl is a
I've
close
been
second.
I've been to a couple Final Fours. It's unbelievable. You
Yeah.
should go. It's unbelievable. One word to describe your ideal player.
This message is brought to you by Apple Card. Shave ice by the beach. A trip to the state fair. And a throwback flick at the local drive-in. They're more than just items to check off the summer bucket list. They're also opportunities to earn 2% daily cash back when you use your Apple Card with Apple Pay. Apply for Apple Card now and use in minutes with Apple Pay. Subject to credit approval. Apple Card is issued by Goldman Sachs Bank USA, Salt Lake City branch. Terms and more at applecard.com.
Low energy, unfocused, foggy? You might be dehydrated. Gatorade Zero powders have been scientifically designed to help improve hydration balance in the body. With a clinically proven electrolyte blend and no artificial colors or flavors. Great tasting hydration no matter where you're going. Shop now online or at retailers nationwide. Gatorade hydrates better than water. Is it in you? Symptoms noted are signs of mild to moderate dehydration. Consult a healthcare professional if symptoms persist.
That's tough. I'll say leader.
Okay. One thing you do to relax.
I'll go for a run.
Favorite pregame or postgame meal.
Ooh, a big pasta dish.
A big pasta dish. Okay. Pre or post or both?
Generally post. I usually don't eat a ton before.
I don't either. Do you have any superstitions?
Not really. I mean, my first year we went undefeated, and I did not say the word undefeated the whole year, so maybe that.
That's a superstition. Absolutely.
Yeah.
One coaching technique you think's important.
Um, I would just say, I think communication. Just
I
as
was
a
gonna
technique.
say I was gonna jump in soon. I would say so you just talked about it. I would
Yeah.
guess you that's what you would have said. Um, If you could describe your perfect player in 5 words or less.
Ooh. I would say coachable, hardworking, honest. I want them to give me feedback. Um, I'll give leader again, and then I'll go for the fifth.
That's okay. Hardworking, we can count that as 2.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
We'll count
We'll count that as 2. Best player of all time.
MJ. Gotta go MJ.
If you could only teach one skill at practice, what would you teach?
I think defense. I think
Okay.
general defense.
Okay. Shot clock, yes or no?
Yes.
If you could change one thing about the game, what would you change?
Oh, I would change. Stumping me on this one. I would definitely change the flopping. I hate flopping.
Ooh, that's a good one. They're trying to do that internationally.
They are, yeah.
One thing that helped you become a better coach.
I think just always being open to hear from other coaches and hear other people's journeys and understand.
Yep. You can win in multitude of ways, trust me. Charge circle, yes or no?
No.
Best game you've seen in person.
We're talking basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I mean, I've only been to one NBA game.
Okay.
But I'll go with this. So University of Buffalo, where I'm at, I went to the MAC championship for them to get to the tournament, and that was a great one. They won by 3, and
That's it. Yeah.
it was a nail biter.
Oh, that's a good one. Favorite quote or saying?
My favorite quote, by an author I like. He's actually a principal. But quote would be, I have it on my wall, but I have it blocked.
It's okay.
Check real quick. Yeah, quote. So life is about the opportunity that you get to impact the world around you, to make a difference, to leave a legacy.
I always ask my students what the meaning of life is, and eventually we come around to like, are you leaving this place better than you found it kind of thing? Yes. Quarters or halves?
I like quarters.
Okay. Best basketball coach of all time?
We'll go Popovich.
Okay. Best team of all time?
I would say MJ's Bulls. I think the whole dynasty.
That's pretty good. Jump ball, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. That's the wrong answer, but okay.
Is it?
Yes. That's my point in life, is to get rid of the jump ball. Because there's one a game and the officials are bad at throwing it. No one practices it. It should just be universal. The visiting team gets the ball, alternating possession. Done.
I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah. The NBA is the only place where they actually do every jump ball in the US. It's like, well, okay, then let's go back. If we're going to do it, let's go back. Why do we like?
You're right. It doesn't make a ton of sense.
It's like, pick one. That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't care. If we're going to jump it, let's jump everything. If we're not, then let's go alternating possession.
Right.
It's one of my pet peeves. I just don't get it. The shot clock, I don't really care. The other stuff, I don't really care. But it's just like, why are we keeping this? No one has the circles anymore and gyms anymore. They don't paint them anymore.
Yeah.
It's not coming back. So it would make a lot of strategy, I think.
If we got, you're starting the game with that ball.
Yeah, so I know I'm starting, and you're starting on defense.
Yeah, that would be
let's go. It'd be
cool.
The chess match cool part would be very cool. One book you'd recommend?
I actually have it next to me. This book called Relentless. It's by a school principal. And it's the same guy who gave me my quote. But it's all about how he is kind of changing how education should be and adapting his school through his own experiences and transforming the culture. And I really apply like the culture aspects to my coaching as well.
What's his last name?
Brewer, Brewer.
So this has nothing to do with basketball,
It
but
does not. But for
no. I'm just saying
aspect.
the whole K through 12 educational system from someone that's been in it this whole life needs to be nuked. It's broken. It's wrong.
Yeah.
We're not teaching kids stuff they need. It's just like, but it's not going to, like, you haven't been teaching long enough. Everything moves about like a snail in education. So, yes, that if I was running for president, my platform would be we're nuking K through 12 education.
Right.
We're just starting over.
Get rid of it. Start over. Yeah.
Because to be honest with you, no one really needs calculus unless they're going to be I'm a math teacher. No one really needs calculus unless they're going to be an engineer or a doctor.
Right.
It's a gatekeeper. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no one really needs it.
Yeah.
So why are we teaching stuff they don't anyway? I understand the conceptual and the math part, but it's like, come on, it's like 5th year of high school math. No one needs that.
Yeah. You at that point, you know the direction you're heading.
Right. So then you should take it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't want my bridges falling down, and I want my engineers to know their math. Absolutely. Yeah. But the average person does not need that. They probably don't even need algebra 2 in the world we live in now. Mm-hmm. Anyway, that's a side note. Education thing. All right. So my last question for every podcast that I do is, and you're a puppy, so I don't know if this is going to be as relevant, but if you could go, I always say, if you go back to your younger self, this is more for the old farts like me, but if you could go back to maybe your first year coaching, or what would you tell yourself? What have you learned over the stretch of your coaching career at this point? I'll word it that way.
I think I would go back and tell myself that because when I first started, I was very oriented of like, we need to get to all of this in our practice. We need to learn this in this amount of time. And I think understanding that things change so fluidly and it's never going to be what you expect. Every day is going to be different. And it's
like teaching. I go into the plan every day.
Yeah.
Half the time that plan's like gone by third hour. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, this didn't work. And usually it's my fault.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this didn't work. I didn't do it right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How am I going to change this? Or, oh, crud. Tomorrow I got to go back and recircle because, they got Mr. Collins off topic, or I don't know, something, or I didn't do the right thing, or I said the wrong stuff. It didn't work. So I agree.
I've definitely had things where like I'll teach a whole thing and I'll say one thing wrong and it'll throw the whole thing off, and then we'll have to go back to it. Yeah.
It's crazy. I tell people that like there's people that are underappreciated in the world, like nurses and educators, blah, blah, blah. But I tell people, if you think teachers don't need a break in the summer and you don't think you should come in and go into a classroom for a month and see what it's like. Because I even teach in high school. The number of questions, teachers get no breaks, and the number of questions that we get asked in a day would make most people's heads explode.
And after the day,
it's like, yes. And some of them are just stupid, but it's like no one in the workplace gets to ask as many questions as an educator. Never.
Like that question probably could have waited until tomorrow, not 10 p.m. tonight.
Yes. It always can. All right. Well, thank you for being on. I appreciate it, Coach.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Hey, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe, like, jump up and down, review, do whatever you got to do. Also, go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. Have a great
NFL football season is here, which means when you switch to Verizon, it feels like touchdown, because you get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube on us when you buy an eligible 5G phone on select unlimited plans, which means you can watch every out-of-market game every Sunday afternoon, and it's all on us. Now that's the Verizon way to kick off the NFL football season right. Switch and get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube on us, only with Verizon.
The right window treatments change everything: your sleep, your privacy, the way every room looks and feels. At Blinds.com, we've spent 30 years making it surprisingly simple to get exactly what your home needs. We've covered over 25 million windows and have 50,000 five-star reviews to prove we deliver. Whether you DIY it or want a pro to handle everything from measure to install, we have you covered. Real design professionals, free samples, zero pressure. Right now, get up to 45% off site-wide, plus get a free professional measure at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions apply.